welcome to Employers Workshop. It's good to have you today. And I'm so glad and excited that this is finally happening. To viewers on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, it's so good to have you here today. So just a quick run through, so you can drop your comments if you have questions. As the speakers are talking, just drop your comments on the comment section, or your questions in the comment section. We would pick your questions from there. So a brief introduction about who we are and what we do at Edgar. So Edgar, in summary, what we do is we are interested in growing people and growing businesses. We are a venture studio. A venture studio is basically a place where we build businesses, we foster businesses. So from ideation, when your business is still an idea, to growth, we render growth as a service. And another part of our key strong points is talent acquisition. We help businesses get the best of talent. And I'm so glad to be your compare this morning. My name is Titilayo Ekundayo. So straight up to the business of today, I'm going to be introducing our first speaker, which she would be speaking on identifying and retaining talent in a cost-effective way. Yes, don't forget that you can drop your chats in the comment section. Amaka Ezeh is a licensed HR professional with an in-depth working knowledge of the human resource functions across diverse industry: IT, consulting, engineering, finance, and telecoms. She works in the capacity of people consultant and HR business partner, where she delivers on various people and business projects, HR strategy designs and implementation, performance management using the balanced scorecards, organizational designs and development, talent acquisition and culture, employees experience. Amaka is a very passionate person and she's about helping SMEs and MSMEs to solve problems. She solves people related businesses problems for maximum productivity and profitability. Amaka, it's so good to have you today on the Employers Workshop.
Thank you very much, Titi, and thank you all at Edgar Hub for all you're doing to help businesses and talents. Thank you very much for this
They,
opportunity.
thank you
Yeah,
to Amaka. So Amaka, over to you. So you have our
thank
next
you very
25
much.
minutes.
All right. So I'm gonna start by sharing my screen, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So I want to start by saying thank you, viewers. Thank you for tuning in. So my session is about identifying and recruiting talent in a cost-effective way. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of story before I start. Prior to coming live, I put up this event on my status. So a colleague, former colleague, and a friend reached out to me, and he was like, "Amaka, all you guys do in HR is to tell businesses how to pay less to employ to talent, to negotiate salary and to pay them less." And I told him, no, that's not all we do when we talk about cost effectiveness. Recruiting talent in a cost effective way. And I encouraged him to join the session. Perhaps at the end of the session, he could understand very well that when we talk about cost effective recruiting, we are not even talking about salary negotiation. There are more to talk about when it comes to, helping SMEs, helping business owners understand how to identify and recruit talent. So I'll move over to business of today. We're going to be looking at who is talent, cost-effective recruiting, employer branding and recruiting, and then I'll have your questions. Okay, so moving on to the first slide. Who is a talent? Now, I'm aware I'm talking to business owners, I'm talking to entrepreneurs, and I'm talking to SMEs, SMEs, building and having thriving businesses in Nigeria and across the globe. Okay, so a talent are people or group of employees who have particular aptitude or skill for certain tasks. Now, talents are doctors, they are data analysts, they are software engineers, they are financial accountant, name it, they're all talent, right? And talent varies from industry to industry, and I'm going to explain that. When I say talent varies from industry to industry, in IT, in telecom, their talents are software engineers, network engineers, people with highly skilled or advanced IT skills. They are their talents. You know why? Because their skills are very critical to the actualization of the business goals. It's a telecom, it's an IT business. So if they don't have network engineers, they won't have a business. So to them, IT skills are very core. So IT engineers are their own talent. Now in a telecom, they have other departments such as the admin department, the HR, the finance. All of these departments are very critical to the business, but they are referred or as support functions. The reason why they are referred to as support functions is because in as much as their duty are very key, in as much as their duty are very crucial to the business, they are not core to the business. They are not core to the business. Yes. And that also comes into play in job designs and job evaluations, salary, pay grades. They tend to, an IT company, a telecom company will tend to pay more for a software engineer, for a network engineer, than they would pay an HR person, a finance person, an admin person, name it, other support functions. Okay. So now, as a business owner, if you have an e-commerce business, your business is majorly online, your talent could be your social media handler, your talent would be your digital marketer, your talent could be your website guy, your IT guy. Yeah, your talent may not necessarily be your HR guy. Your talent may not also be, slightly not be your delivery guy, maybe. Do you understand the dynamics? So it varies from industry to industry, it varies from businesses to businesses. Your talent, I want you to understand what talent means to you, to your business. So your talents are those skills, those expertise that are very critical to the actualization of your business. So put it this way, a talent is whom when you lose, your business suffers or it impacts your business. The impact to your business is very grave. So that's how I want you to look at talent in this session. Okay, so when you talk about talent, it can be associated with high performer or high potential. A high performance could be experienced hands, they could experience professionals, there could be people that when you hire, you expect them to hit the ground running as soon as they resume. There is no room for trainings or for all of those for trainings and all of that. You expect them to even teach the team, teach you, hit the ground running, and bring in the numbers. If they're salespeople, or bring in the deliver on their key performance indicators. Now, high potentials are people that are skilled, but not as experienced, or maybe not have gained more grounds on that particular field, but they have the potentials to deliver when taught. So these people, you look at them as high potentials. Look at them that give this person 6 months, 3 months, they will learn on this job and they are going to deliver massively. So these are the categories of our talent. So moving on to the next slide, we have cost-effective recruiting. I'm sure this is where my former colleague was talking on when he talks about us HR, preaching low salary and all of that. But it's all about low salary, and is very relative. You could pay. I'm trying to digress a little bit, but pardon me, okay? So it is very relative when it comes to salary negotiation. You could negotiate salary, very low salaries, but are the talents, can the talent deliver? For example, comparing an entry level talent to an experienced talent, I mean, the gap is there. And if you choose to have a lean structure where your strategy is cutting down on your budget, paying low salaries, you are looking out for maybe entry level people or maybe not so experienced people that you still have to put through, depending on the kind of business. You still have to teach them, you still have to be there 100%, you still have to hold their hands. Then you can't compare that to when you are paying a whole lot different from what you're paying the entry level person, because this person, as an experienced person, they do not need much hand holding, they do not need much supervision. They can work independently and deliver your results there. So it's very, very relative, actually. Moving on, and sorry for that, for digressing. So talking about cost-effective recruiting, I will encourage all business owners to partner with institutions of higher learnings or institutions that have been accredited or endorsed to train, reskill, and upskill or certain individuals. There are a couple of them. An example is the Edgear Hub. The Edgear Hub is an institution who reskill and upskill, and they have a couple of accreditation from IT, from tech and non-tech institutions. So you can do well by partnering with those institutions to get experienced hands and entry-level hands and really skilled people, to help actualize your business goals. Another medium is to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool for business owners. You can use LinkedIn for literally everything as a business owner. You can use it for employer branding. You can use it for your recruitment at no cost. When I say at no cost, I mean you can log onto your LinkedIn using keywords. Let's take, for example, you're looking to hire a digital marketer. On logging into your LinkedIn, and by merely typing digital marketer or typing very keywords, keywords that are very important or very strategic to that role. For example, using SEO, the search engine optimization. But merely typing that into your LinkedIn search box, you get a bunch of people that have digital marketing skills, and you're able to contact them. Click on the profile to contact them, tell them about the role you're recruiting, and then take the conversation further by scheduling them for an interview and of course making a decision on whether to hire them or not. You can also poach. So what I just explained now is basically poaching, and poaching is basically like trying to sell a job to talent who are not actively searching for a job, right? You can do that using LinkedIn. Then for recruitment, you can use your page, your company page, your personal page to post job ads. Putting the job description on your job ad to get a lot of interest, a lot of engagement on the ads. You see a lot of click-throughs on that ad post, and they will apply. And for a startup, you can use, if you don't have a job portal, if your website doesn't have a job portal where talent can easily apply on or take a test, you can make do with Google Sheets, Google Forms. You can use Google Form, create a Google Form free, and attach it to your job ad on LinkedIn. So people can click through and apply through that Google Form. Also, you can, from placing your ad on LinkedIn, job boards like my job marks, hot Nigerian jobs, you get to pick it up from there and they advertise it on job boards. So all those jobs that you see on job boards, most of them are not paid for. These they are those jobs are being picked up from LinkedIn. Yeah, most times I can tell from experience, they pick those job ads from LinkedIn. So you can just put your job ads on LinkedIn. And you can also build talent pipelines. You can do sponsored ad. If you're not yet recruiting or not actively recruiting or don't have an open role in your organization, you can just put design a job description, put it on LinkedIn, and do a sponsored ad. You will get massive engagement on that, and you'll be able to build your talent pipeline. From there, whenever you have an open role, you can always go through that email or the dedicated form or dedicated portal that you use in your link sponsored LinkedIn ad, and then type the job title, and you see people or talent who have applied for that job role. Then moving on to the next point, which is belonging to HR networks. Now you may think that HR network could be for only HR people. Yeah, in some cases, in some HR network, they make it strictly for HR professionals. But I believe that you can still have an access to those platforms by merely showing your interest in that platform. Being a business owner, you also need to think like an HR person, or like an you have especially for startups. Really, you need to have that mindset of a business owner and an HR person, because you have the sole responsibility of aligning your business strategy with your people strategy. So reach out to the network, try to belong to those networks. From there, you can make connections, put out your job ads there, and also you can use professional communities. For example, the tech jobs, they have a whole lot of communities, a whole lot. So you can leverage on those communities, leverage on your network that belong to the community in case you don't have access, and post jobs like that. I've filled a couple of roles by simply, contacting my friends or my network that belongs to big tech communities. They were able to post my job ads there, and believe you me, I got people, qualified talent that I was able to fill my open roles with. Next point is incentivize referral program. So your company, you could design a referral program where you can be incentivized. Incentivizing is actually encourages and it motivates your people to refer people. Okay. From this program, you see your talented people reaching out to their fellow talented friends in their fields or other fields to apply for a job that you have open in your organization. The next point is internal recruiting. So you can fill open roles in your organization by simply doing a job transfer, or by promoting talented and high potential individuals. Okay, before you put out a job ad, look through in your organization who is that capable hands that can take on the job, who is that talent that is showing that potential, to succeed a role. You can have that succession planning in place, or you can identify and engage those individuals on a routine basis, have a training program for them, basically preparing them for the next role. Okay, so you do that internal advert first and see if you can get a capable hand that can do that job. If not, then you cannot throw the job to the public. Then the next one is virtual interviews. So these days of digital business world, as a business owner, you should learn how to use some of these tools. It makes your life easier. It makes the recruitment process very seamless. It also helps to engage your candidates and make the candidate experience in your company worthwhile. And one thing about making your candidate experience worthwhile is that they go and testify about your company to their friends. Things like, oh, the recruitment process is very seamless. You just just fill one pager form and you submit. You don't have to click like 5 pages to put in your application. That is a very I've heard candidates talk about that, because most times in my interview I tend to ask candidates, what has been their journey so far. Because engaging them in that way, you'll be able to know where there are gaps in your recruitment process, and you'll be able to close that gap. So I will tell you, well, the recruitment, when I was applying, it took me like 1 hour to apply, or it took me like 2 hours to apply. Um, and I mean, I encourage you, or maybe they could suggest that you make the application time maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes. These days, it is using the Google form, using so many other digital tools, you can make your application process as seamless as possible. It could be by just putting in your company HR email address. That could be it. And encouraging them to submit their resume and their cover letter. That could be it also. I've also heard some candidates tell me that, well, the process was fantastic, but I had series of interview stages. I have 5 interview stages. I had 3 interview stages, and I wished it was less, maybe 2 stages, 3 stages. So these are things you have to put into consideration to make your candidate experience worldwide. In making your candidate experience worldwide, you are building your employer brand, and people candidates tend to tell other candidates about your company, and they will wish, to one day apply to your company and get accepted to work for your company. So there are other platforms, many platforms you can use for interviews. You can use Zoom, you can use Google Meet, you can use Teams. A couple of all of these ones are free. Google Meet is totally free. Zoom, they have a free version. Teams have a free version as well. So you can explore all of those tools to do your recruitment. And one thing about using virtual means to recruit is that it enhances your candidate experience. But because most of them do not like to waste transport fare or time to come to your company to do that interview, and at the end of the day you send them a rejection mail saying that they didn't make it. It's cost effective for both the candidate and the employer. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So when recruiting, there are a couple of things that I want you to bear in mind. The employer branding is very key. If you want talent, real talent, people that will deliver on your business goals to apply to your company, you have to put into consideration how you look in the outside world. How do candidates see you? What's the perception of your company? Is your company that company where candidates or talent say, no, that company, no, don't even apply there. Or it's very toxic. They have a toxic culture. The managers are so toxic. They are very rigid. They have a very rigid work schedule. Because these days, whether you like it or not, most talents, they ask all of these questions before they actually agree to accept your offer. They ask questions like, what is your work arrangement like? Is it hybrid? Is it totally remote? Is it 100% on site? They ask all of these questions. They ask the mode of interview. Is it virtual? Do I have to come physically? Because these days, it's actually an employee market. So you have to do all you can to attract the best hand. And to start is by building your employee perception, your employee reputation in the job market. And how to do that is by what? Communication, communicating your strategies, communicating your mission as a business, communicating your vision, your goals as a business, putting it out there. This is not the era of, oh, my company is good, and you keep it to yourself, you don't sing your praises. No, this is not the era. This is actually the era of singing the praises of your company. What you do very well, put it out there on social media pages. Put it out there. Communicate. Have a dedicated person that can put it out there, building your reputation and your perception, so that when employees look at your company, say, "Oh, this company, I've heard about them before. My friend told me about them. That they provide lunch every Friday and Monday." All of those catchy things, those small things like putting out your employees' birthday pictures. I mean, wishing them birthday on social media. Attending the events, the wedding ceremony, the birthday ceremony, the kids ceremony, all of these little things. Sending them cards, Christmas card, as little as you think they are, they go a long way. Winning the hearts of your employees. And you know what? These employees are the people that are actually going to do the real brand building, because they'll get to tell their friends, we do lunch in my company every day, or we do lunch in my company for 2 days in a week. Now, you may not have the money to afford lunch. I get it. There are other ways. Showing a genuine interest in their family affairs, in their personal interest, grooming your managers to actually have interest, in their personal affairs. Now, you're not trying to intrude, but you're trying to show them that I care about you. I care about what you're going through. I care about the fact that you come late these days. What happened? I care about that lately you joined the meeting so late, unlike you before. 5 minutes to the meeting, you're already in the waiting for the meeting to start. But these days, it takes you time. What happened? What's going on? From this little conversation, you find out that the employee may be going through things that they don't know whom to share it with. But having you actually, having that sense that you actually care by asking me why I joined late to meeting, which is unlike me, it kind of builds. It shows how empathetic you are, and it kind of build trust. And when employee builds trust with you, they trust. I mean, they tend to be loyal. They're loyal and they sing your praises outside. I hope I'm not digressing. Let me check my slide. So when it comes to employer brand, it's all about communication, and the goal is to retain and attract talent. Remember what we defined as talent before we said, we're starting on this station. So when I'm talking about talent, I want you to hold on to that definition. Not everybody all out there in the job market is a talent, and it varies from industry to industry. I want you to have that in mind. So why employer branding? Because it helps to retain high performing employees. Like I said, it's not about money, it's not about the pay. Of course, the pay is there because these days it seems like I said, it's an employee market, and it seems like highest bidder sort of thing. But there are little ways as a startup, as an SME, that you can actually engage your people. Little things like showing interest in them, help to keep your high performing talent. When they talk about employee churn, employee engagement, you are talking about talent. And when you're talking about talent, you are referring to my definition of talent, people that are really critical to your business. Not every person you lose in your business is a talent, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Not everybody that you lose in your business that you actually care about. Well, he can be replaceable, but there is this one guy that you can do everything you can to retain, to keep. Those are the people I'm talking about in this session. To retain, you need to really show interest in their personal affairs. Okay? Because there's actually talent war out there, really. And then why employer branding? For you to attract high potential and high talented individuals. You need to put yourself out there, you need to communicate your strategies, and all of that. So let me go through the tips of employer branding. You can use social media, very free. Get a dedicated handler that is very good in graphics. Put it out your company content, what it is like working in your company, maybe the team bonding, the company event that are really very engaging. Put it out there on your social media handle. Tell the world what it is to be an employee in your company, and who knows, your next talents that could deliver the multi-million-dollar business targets could be lurking in your Instagram post or Instagram page, or lurking in your Facebook page, lurking in your LinkedIn page. You don't know. So just put yourself out there, sing your praises, okay, why you do so well. Celebrate your new joiners. When a new joiner come, if you are very active on LinkedIn, I'm sure you might have seen all of this. It's very common. When new joiners join, you put out a very nice graphic about them, their talents, why, just sing their praises, something very fantastic. Put it out there. You get a lot of engagement. You get a lot of engagement, and you can't even imagine that it will bring about, right? And also encourage employees to also put it out there. There's something that LinkedIn does these days. When you change or update your profile, showing that you just joined a company, it kind of makes an automatic post or something, telling your network that you just joined a company and all of that. Encourage other employees to comment on that post, basically engaging on that post. It makes it go viral, and not about that, it makes your company visible. So if you do that, you can testify that you get a lot of click-throughs, a lot of engagement, a lot of engagement on your website. I'm sure your network, your IT guy will tell you about the engagement. So it's very, very critical, to share all of this. And of course, notable milestones, maybe promotions. You can put it in as graphic, just show it out on LinkedIn or your Instagram, Facebook handles, Twitter handles. Sure, put it out there. Just telling people about you and what it is to work in your company. And the last one is communication. Communication is very, when you talk about employer brand, it's all about communication actually. Like they always say, a closed mind is a closed destiny. Please talk about your company, talk about your people, talk about your talent to have your company, talk about the business you deliver, talk about it everywhere. Get very, very talented graphic person, very talented IT people that can manage all of this aspect for you, because the world is digital and your business needs to be out there. People need to see you. Not only your clients need to see you, your talent need to see you and be wishing that to work for you. So that when you put out the next job ad, the people that will be applying are talented people from multinationals wanting to work for you, rushing your brand, that makes you more visible and more sellable. Now, at my left-hand side, I have soft skill, just weighing and all of that. So what I'm trying to portray here is when recruiting, I want you to consider the soft skills. Very, very important. Most of when we are recruiting or interviewing people, we tend to overlook the soft skill part and tend to focus on the technical skill. Or can she or deliver on the $1 million sales target, or can she deliver or he deliver on so KPI. Those are very fantastic. But let me tell you that without the soft skills that are critical to that role, the person may not deliver. Let me give you an example. A salesperson who is maybe a salesperson is not the right example. Let's say you're a digital marketing person, correct? Very good with draft. Very good with graphics, very good with content, very good with all of those. I'm rounding off, guys. Very good with all of those. But it has a very tardy. Has a very tardy behavior. Comes late to meetings, comes late to client meeting. Doesn't have integrity. He can be those little soft skills like integrity, punctuality, and all of those. It can actually cost you businesses, regardless of the fact that the person has the hard skills, required for that role. If he doesn't have the basic skills like interpersonal relationship, he's not able to engage with your audience, he's not able to engage with your clients, you can lose out of business, you can lose out on clients. So I want you to please, as you can see, the soft skills weighs more than the hard skills. Now, I'm not saying that you should overlook the hard skill. No, it has to be a balance of both, or the soft skill has to be more weighted higher, especially when the person is teachable. Okay, so guys, that is all for my session. Thank you very much for listening. I think it's time for
Questions. Yes. Thank you very much, Amaka. That was quite an interesting one. Thank you very much. So the first question we have, so we just take two questions for the sake of time. Is from Musumola Olaguju, and she's asking how many stages is ideal for the recruitment process. So because in your conversation you mentioned that it shouldn't be too long. So how many stages is actually the ideal, and then what should one cover in those stages?
Great question. So the stages actually depends on the size of the company, right? So by size, I mean it depends on the size of the company, and it depends on the role and position of the person. For example, your receptionist, for example, your recruiting is receptionist, and you have the direct line manager, and then the head of the company, head of the department, and then the CEO. Let me use that structure. Remember, I said it depends on size and the role. Let me use that structure. So for a receptionist, the receptionist has no business seeing the MD of the company. The receptionist most likely can stop with the team lead, depending on the size of the company. But in the bigger sizes, mid-level companies, you can get to see the head of department, and that's it. That means test, not sure about testing, except to have a portal. You use a portal where they do automatic testing before they even submit the application. Then from then, of course, you know whether the person passed or not, whether to invite the person for interview or not. Now, if you don't have that in place, if you don't have testing in place, the first level interview can be the direct line manager, after which the person sees the HOD, and that's it. Now, if you are recruiting for head of customer service, of course, the head of customer service, depending on the size of company, may have to see the MD. So in that case, the person will see the line manager, the person will see the head of department, and then the person will see the MD or director or whatever. It depends on the side, like I said, the cadres and all of that. So I will say, in a nutshell, three stages of interview is okay. The first one
Okay.
is the two steps can be virtual, while the final one can be physical. Or the first one
Physical.
can be virtual, while the two final ones can be physical. Yeah.
Physical. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Amaka. Another question from Babatunde Basharon. How does a business make itself attractive to employees with a rising number of competition? A lot of small businesses, and then it's almost like small businesses they're looking for talent, trying to make themselves attractive, because even the big guys are looking for talent. So
Yeah.
how do you position your business in such a way that it is attractive for people to come and work?
Great question. So I would say, like I said earlier, putting yourself out there,
Okay.
talking to the world, how what it is to work in your company, the perks. The perks may not
Okay.
necessarily be money, but of course the employees can easily be bought over with money. Don't put that aside. That is very,
It's
very key,
about the
guys.
money.
Yes, that's very, very key. So you need to design a total package, a total reward system that is very attractive, right?
Okay.
It could be, the basic pay. Okay, there's a various way of designing your total package. You can have basic pay that is massive, and then the promotion perks, or you can have basic pay that is just moderate, and the remaining part of it, you use and be providing lunch for them every day, or use and
Mm.
providing lunch for them
TGIF.
2 times in a week. There is a company that I know, Big Four. Um,
Okay.
the basic salary, just there, fantastic, just there, but not as par as other multinational. But you are satisfied lunch week in, week out. In fact, when I was working, I don't cook, right? Because seriously, food like you eat.
Is
So what
taken
I'm saying, you
care of.
can design your total reward systems, right? For foodies like us, they will stay. I'm not saying that they may. I
Food is
mean, yes, they could tend to stay for the longer term. There are the other ways, like showing interest in their personal affairs. They're doing wedding, their burial or something. Just arranging a bus, taking people there for the burial or the wedding ceremony. Just showing interest in their personal affairs, their birthdays, announcing, get them a gift card, 5,000
okay.
naira gift card from Spa. Um, put out a graphic in your social media page. Just celebrate them. Those little things they go a long way to making them. I mean, to show that you actually have interest in them and they'll get to stay for the longer term. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Amaka. It has been an interesting run. I'm sure if people have questions, they will direct it to us and they will forward it to you. Thank you very much,
All
Amaka.
right. Thank you very
Do
much.
enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Amaka. Bye. Okay, we are still at the Employers Workshop and we are having fun. We are learning a lot. Before I bring up the second speaker that will be speaking to writing KPIs, which is key performance indicators, and she'll be just briefly on writing job description to you. I would like to drop that at Edgar we have tech interns. They are already trained because 8 gear we have Cisco, VMware certifications and all of that. We've trained this tech talent and then they are available for internship. If you're interested in getting tech interns in cloud computing, cyber security, data analyst, web dev, just reach out to us. I'm sure the link will be shared on the screen where you can just fill a form. It comes at no recruitment cost. Our partners have made sure of that. Okay, so straight up to our second speaker, facilitator for today, excuse me. Her name is Abiola Oreagba. Abiola Oreagba is a strategic HR professional and psychologist with over 5 years generalist experience across HR and operations value chain with strength in talent acquisition, retention, engagement, and management. She has skillfully helped organizations in diverse industries such as food and drinks, entertainment, manufacturing, education, exports, and NGO. She has planned, organized, strategized, and implement several HR processes. Abiola Oreagba is passionate and she's good at what she does. Abiola Oreagba, it's good to have you today.
Hello,
Yes,
can
it's good to
anyone
have
hear
you,
me?
Abiola.
Good
Yes, we can
morning.
hear
Thank you for
you.
having me today.
Good morning. So you have
Okay.
the floor to wow us, teach us, educate us.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet, please.
Let me know when you can see my screen, please. It
All
will be
right.
showing on KPIs.
Okay. Your
Can
screen is
anyone see
showing
my
now.
screen?
Yes,
Awesome.
please.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, my
Good
name is
morning.
Abiola Oreagba. Okay, so I'm going
All right.
to go through this very fast because Titi just occurred to me that you actually told me to talk about job descriptions.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a slide presented right now. So my laptop had an issue, so I'm winging it with my work laptop. So let me just do a brief run on job descriptions. What are job descriptions? These are documents that tell you, okay, so this is a document that says this is what I need from you. This is why I want to hire you. Let's see. Let me quickly pull up a quick job description. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm winging it right now. Okay. Admin officer. So one of the things I'll say about getting the job description is there are like 1,000,001 job descriptions online. So you don't have to start searching your brain or cracking your brain to find a good one. One of my preferred sites is Workable. That's why it took me straight to Workable. I like Workable job descriptions. They tell me what I want easily. So you don't have to start sitting down and looking for, oh, I need a job description. How do I start? Workable is your friend. Apart from Workable, you can get 1,000,001 online. So you start with a job brief. There are different kinds of job description. I wanted to unfortunately my personal laptop has so many more that I wanted to share, but we'll work with this. So we have the job brief. We start with a design. You have to have a basic design. I have various designs, but I can't share that. I'm very sorry. We have basic designs. You have the company logo on it. Apart from the company logo, you talk about the reporting line. Okay, this is the job role, admin officer. Who does the job role report to? We have maybe head of admin. How many direct reports there are there? 1, 2, 3. You put that there. If it's not reporting to anybody, you say no direct report. Then go straight to the job brief. The job brief tells us what exactly the person is supposed to do. As an admin officer, your job is to successfully your job is to you act as a point of contact to all employees, providing administrative support and managing their queries. Straightforward. One thing I've learned is our generation, we really don't like very long things. It should be informative, comprehensive, but not too long. So 3, 4 lines is fine for your job brief. It tells me what I'm supposed to do every day. So the job brief, in summary, should tell you what you do every day. Then we go to the key responsibilities. Some have key responsibilities, some have regular responsibilities. It's fine. Key responsibility tells you that, oh, this is what I need you to do on a day-to-day basis, while the general responsibility says this is what you're going to do over the period of your employment. So what are your key responsibilities? Manage office supplies, stock, and others. So hello, Titi, is this interactive, or am I just going to be talking by myself? Hi, Titi. Hello, can
Hello,
anyone hear me
Biola.
at the back? Yes, please.
Biola,
Is this
yes, you
interactive?
are. Yes, we
Oh,
can
I'm just
hear
going to
you.
be speaking.
Yes, we can hear you. Please
Is this
speak. When it's time
interactive?
for no, you have the floor. When it's time for question and
Awesome.
answer, you would
Okay, so
I'll
okay, I
join
like
you. So
back
you
and
have the
I
floor.
like back and forth, but okay, I need to make people
Okay. So
understanding
Biola,
what
you
I'm
can
saying, or if
want
they have
to.
questions.
Okay, so you
Okay,
can want to
but no
take it a
problem.
bit slowly so that those of us that are just learning these things, will be able to absorb it.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, no problem. Sorry, guys. I'm usually used to a more interactive class, so I usually ask questions, but I'll wing this as I said. So, as I
All right.
said, your key responsibilities should have the daily what you should do every day. Looking at this one says manage office supply stocks and place orders, prepare regular reports on expense and office budgets, maintain and update company database, organize a filing system for important and confidential company documents. It can go on and on. One advice, I'm not going to spend so much time on this because, as I said, there are a million and one JDs online. The most important topic I planned for today is your KPIs. So, what are the requirements? You go to this next stage, which is requirements, proven work experience as an admin officer. Yeah, in your requirements, you will determine there's something we call job evaluation. So, before we get to job description, there's a job evaluation. This is used to determine the years of experience, the years of experience the person should have, if it's entry level or is an experienced hire. During the job evaluation, we also determine the key competencies that are necessary for the role. That's when we talk about proven experience. Normally, I'll say if it's entry level, 0 to 5 years experience, 0 to 3 years experience, depending on what your organization determines as your entry level. If it's experienced hire, you have to also have determined, okay, what do we consider an experienced hire? Is it 5 years and above? Is it 3 years and above? That's where you come here. So I always advise you put the years of experience. It's very important. Even without putting years of experience, people with zero, if you put, in short, I've had roles that have put 5 years experience and nobody has come up. I put 5 years experience and people with 0 years experience have applied. So put your years of experience. It makes it easy for you to actually shortlist. Another thing is this: what are the competencies we need? Okay, we want someone that has management software experience. That's fine. We talk about the so there are two parts of these things. Something my colleague said earlier when she was speaking about culture fit and competency fit. So part of the requirement is also culture fit. That's when we talk about strong organizational organizing skills, communication skills, attention to details. We talk about education. Another thing, a lot of other job descriptions are KPIs. Some people add it there. Okay, if we hire you for this role, these are the main thing you'll be achieving. Okay, so I think I'll have to move on to KPIs now because of this is very easy, as I said, and there are a million and one JDs online you can actually get from. So we go to KPIs. What are KPIs? KPIs are key performance indicators. What does a key performance indicator do? It ensures that you measure the goals of the organization. I'm using this particular there are different kinds of what's the word for it? There are different kinds of templates for balanced scorecard. Yeah, you can have there are a million and one, as I said. Also, find the one that works for you and adapt it. I prefer the strategy map because it's graphical. I like graphical things. So if you prefer if you're not a graphical person like me, you can go for other methods. There are other ones that are written line by line, but I prefer graphical methods. What are the most important things for KPI? So before I jump to the whole of KPI as it were, let's talk about performance management a bit. There are different methods of what's the measuring performance of your staff. We use balance scorecard. This method I'm showing you is a balance scorecard method. There's the management by objectives. There's OKR, that's organized objectives by key results. Sorry. So there are different methods. What I actually prefer OKR, but I'll be talking on KPIs right now. So what are the major things your KPI should have? Your KPI should be smart in the sense that it must be smart, it must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be attainable. It must be relevant. It must be time bound. See, so specific in the sense that this is what I want you to do. For example, look at this measure for so I'll go, okay, that's the five part. That's the most important part of your KPI. So when we talk about balance scorecard, as I said, balance scorecard is a type of performance management system. It has four major perspectives. We have the financial perspective, the customer, the internal processes, and the learning and growth. Why five four perspectives? It has been found out that these are the four perspectives using balance scorecard that individuals need and require to grow and also meet their goals, organizational goals. So before we go into KPI, we must first have organizational goals. What are your organizational goals? It differs. Then their organizational goals differ per organization, per season, and per industry, per sector. It's basically you and your organization. What do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to achieve long term? So I always advise start long term, then cascade it to short term. What are my 5-year goals? What are my 10-year goals? Then cascade it down to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So it's easier. That's what makes it specific. That what makes it measurable. So when you cascade it down, it becomes measurable, it becomes attainable. So let's talk about the financial perspective here. What is the financial perspective? That's the money part of the business. No business can run without money. So for this particular one, I chose this particular goal. Increase revenue or profit by 70%. Now that's the goal. Why is this goal fine? Because one, it tells you the percentage. I tell you what is very specific about what I want to do. We want to increase our revenue or profit. This was a sample I sent to someone, so please bear with me. I wasn't sure if they wanted their increase in revenue or they want an increase in profits, because they are two different things. So increase in revenue is, oh, we sold 100k. It's different from we have a profit after tax and after all deductions. They are two different things. So choose the one you want. Do you want an increase in revenue, which is fine, or do you want an increase in profit by this amount? That was what I put there. Then this organization also has a monthly, it's also has a loan. Part of their financial strategy is to have a monthly loan repayment. Then I left the third one blank for the person to put there. I actually thought this was going to be interactive, so I put some blank things so that we could do it together. That way we could understand it ourselves. So the first measure, how are we measuring our goals? We increase in all sales of, please just mind the acronyms, the MMD, all products by 70%. So we increase in the sales of all. How do we plan to do this? That's my measure. Measure number one is to increase all the sales of all products by 70%. What are our targets? All LPOs. This is a manufacturing company that gives supplies products to supermarkets and other retail stores. So LPOs. All LPOs should be renewed after X number of months with a 30% increase per reorder. So how do we make sure that how do we month on month, week on week? For sales, I also advise, this is a sales one, make it weekly if you're going to make a sales. It's from this particular target that you're going to create your sales. What's the word for it? This is an organizational KPI, by the way. I think I didn't state that. This is the KPI for an organization. That's why it's called the strategy map for an organization. So this is what they want to do. How would they do this? By, as I said, they renew all their LPOs. So they take their orders, they produce, finish, they take their orders to their supermarkets. They must ensure that at every month they sell out with an increase in 30%. So for example, they supply ShopRite 50 box of Indomie. 50 box of Indomie. They must sell out that 50 box of Indomie in 3 months. Or let's say it's Indomie, so in 2 weeks. And by the time they are reordering, they must ensure that based on relationship management, they are getting an increase in order by 30%. What are the initiatives that we use to do this? One, we have a marketing plan. We have a reduction in waste, because one of the things that would reduce your cost, even if it's your increase in revenue or profit, is waste. Don't forget, this is for a manufacturing company, so that's why there is waste there. They have to make sure that one, they have a solid marketing plan. For you to be able to sell out X amount of products, I said 50 cartons of Indomie in 2 weeks, which is really easy because it's Indomie as a well-known product. In 2 weeks, you have to have a marketing strategy. It has to be on point. Then monthly repayment of loans, X%. And I said, you have to have a number. It has to be, as I said, specific. So X number of revenues after tax goes to a loan repayment. So let's say that once our revenues come in, 10% of our revenues, this is 10%. Before you can get to this amount, you have to sit down with your finance people and determine what is visible for the company, because you must always have cash flow. You must always have money at hand. That's your cash flow. So even after you've taken out all your taxes, you've taken out all your production to reproduce, you need to still have money at hand. So X%, as I said, KPIs must be specific. It must be what's the word for it? It must be measurable, it must be reliable. Sorry, it must be relevant rather than attainable. So when we say X%, we say 30%, or 30% is really high. 10% of all revenues after tax go to loan repayment. This must be kept, because we know that we have let's say 10 million loan to pay back over a 2-year period of time. You have to calculate how much do we have to pay back from our revenue to ensure that we meet this loan. Titi, how many more minutes do I have, please? Then we told our targets. It's there. Let me quickly put this there. Put this here. This is, as I explained earlier, this is a strategy map for an organization. The other, by the time they are cascading it down to other departments, it's actually more broad than this. So let's see. We now, so okay, what are our targets? 70% of monthly repayments of all loans. So our target, what we are trying to meet is that at the end of each month, we are paying 70% of monthly repayment to all loans. There are a lot of organizations right now that have different organizations that they collected loans from. So we'll do it that way. Then proper financial how do we ensure that? What is the initiative to meet our target? Proper financial management. There's something I've noticed about a lot of SMEs. A lot of you do not have finance people or accountants. You need this a lot. You need to sit down with one and ensure that you understand, especially when you have loans. They have to give you a financial management plan. How do we repay these loans? What are our goals? How do we do it? You need a breakdown. Every month, this is the amount we must pay back, which has to be cascaded back to the sales people. We have to pay this amount of loans. That means we have to sell this amount of products. Then we go to customers. The customer perspective of this is reduction in customer complaint by 70%. Then how do we measure it? What are our products? We go back to when the customer first, we go back to the production line. Product should be able to stay. This is a what's the word? This particular KPI is for a ice cream manufacturing company. So we say that products should be able to stay out of the freezer for 5 minutes without all of them melting. So imagine ShopRite and the long queue. I take a tub of ice cream from the chiller there or the freezer, and I move to the line. Between the chiller and spending maybe 30 minutes on the queue, my product should last. It should not have melted at all. That is one way of ensuring that we reduce our customer complaints. So what are our targets? Our targets are 70% reduction in melted and recalled products. That is what we are trying to. This is our, we have a measure, then we have the targets. These targets then will now be broken down into different things. What is our major initiative? What is our major initiative to ensure that our products do not melt? That is the use of a particular product, which will help stabilize it. Then we talk about internal issues, use of inventory and customer management systems. A lot of small businesses do these things by the book or just Excel sheets, but you actually need proper documentation to make certain things work. So what is our measure? Our measure is a proper documentation of all production and customer data. Target X% increase in efficiency of all sales and products. So how do we know that we are meeting that particular measure? Is by setting a target. When we set a target, we can say 30% increase in efficiency. This is what we want to meet. That means that by the time I'm cascading it down, if I am the production or sales or customer person, I'm making my people know that our goal is to ensure that there's a 30% increase in efficiency. How do we ensure there's a 30% increase in the efficiency? We make sure that every production document, everything is written down. Our manuals are written down for production. We have a menu card if we are cooking. For production, we have a recipe. For customer service, immediately you are taking the order, you are typing it directly into the information management system. Or if we don't have an information management system, if we don't want to do it manually, we use our website or we use our WhatsApp page or our social media. We have a link there whereby I go there, I type in what I need to buy, what my orders are, and it comes directly to the salesperson. So there are different initiatives. That's why I said use of appropriate software. Those are ways to actually make this thing work. Okay. So we go to the learning and growth, which is a very important part of all organization. Apart from the financial part, the customer part, the business or the internal or business perspective, we come to the learning and growth. There is no one that wants to work in a place that is not interested in their growth. So I always advise, in short, using balanced scorecard, you must have growth, learning and development in your KPIs. Is important. So in competencies necessary to meet, so I didn't really put much here because as I said, it was a discussion with someone that we're having and we're drawing it together. So what are the competencies necessary for each of our teams to grow? I'll use, for example, for a sales team, the person might need training. Now we say competencies. What are the competencies necessary for a salesperson? We talk about digital marketing skills are very important for a salesperson. Apart from going one-on-one, in short, thanks to the log, I think one of the things let's just leave that to the side. Let's go to digital marketing skill. Every salesperson, even if you're an RSA person, you should understand digital marketing. It's very important. So we talk about competencies necessary to meet organizational needs. We talk about different trainings. You highlight your trainings. There are different ways of gathering training so that you can, depending on your organization, the size. If you are a small business, maybe 5 to 10 people, have a discussion with them at the beginning of the year. If you've not done one yet, it's not yet too late. Have a beginning. What are the goal? What are the trainings you would like to take this year? How do you think you can make your job better? What are the trainings you want to take? Based on this, you have a goal, you have a training list for the year. All we know that this year we want to increase our competencies. And how do we plan to do it? We plan to do it by 3 training quarterly. They are all aware. So how do we do 3 trainings quarterly? Which is monthly training for all staff. Each month you take a training. The trainings must always align with the organizational goals, remember, and the goal of the. So for every staff's training must align with the organizational goals. Then we first align with the departmental goals. Then after they align with the departmental goals, the departmental goals must align with the organizational goals. So we take monthly training for all staff. Then what are the initiatives to ensure that these trainings are met? We look for paid, for SMEs especially. You can find paid and free trainings. We do knowledge sharing sessions internally, apart from the ones you will pay, apart from going to sites like Allison, Udemy. There are so many free training sites around. You also do monthly knowledge sharing. What did you learn this year? The trainings you went for. Another thing you can also implement is, for every training your staff goes external training, they come back and train their members of staff, so that our knowledge sharing sessions are broad and they are wide. Another thing you can implement to make this easier for you as an organization is books, ebook, and you can have a book. What's the word for it? You can have a book. You can share a book with staff, the ebook session, and ensure that everybody reads it. Then we come and do a knowledge sharing session on what I learned about in that book. Then thankfully now that we can have virtual and physical training. So these are the most important parts of KPIs that we would use. Okay, Titi, I'm fine and I can take questions now.
Okay, thank you very much, Viola. That was quite an interesting conversation. Well done. Okay, so one question that we have is, the person is asking as regards sales. So they're in a sales department, and then our team are not as functional as they should be, as regards delivering on their KPIs. So the question is, okay, so how do I make, because the norm, quote unquote, is, okay, so give them a base, then put commission on it. How do you advise that a business owner would navigate around salespeople not being up and doing as regards their KPIs, tying it back to their remuneration? Do you understand?
I'm not sure, but let me try to rephrase.
Okay, please go
ahead.
Okay,
so you're saying, okay, I'm coming. How do I drive KPIs for sales teams in relation to their salaries? Okay, exactly. So you're saying they're talking about commissioning here now. So we have, for sales people, a lot of people go through the basic salary. This is the basic salary you will earn, and these are the commissions you earn for meeting your goals. Because sales to be frank with you, sales is money driven. If I'm going to pay you 100,000 naira every month, that is minus, that is your gross salary as it is. Then the question now is this: for every time you meet your target of you are selling off 70% of your stock, I'll give you a percentage of that. Should you go beyond 70%, for example, you're supposed to sell out 30 packs of noodles and you sell out 50 packs of noodles, I will give you 20% of that. That is the best way to tie it to their sales. It has to be tied towards commission. See, don't touch their basic salary. I'll say it again. Do not touch your salespeople's basic salary. Okay, you are the one that will suffer.
Okay, so Biola, how do you gauge what the basic should be? Do you understand?
How do you gauge what your basic salary is to be? You
salespeople, knowing that they are still going to get commission.
That comes back to your financial management and your budget. This is the amount I can pay. We go back to the financial management and your financial planning. There are so many. I'll go back to financial management. How much can I pay this person, even if the person does not? So we say basic salary. How much can I pay this person for this role? That is the basic salary. How much does that person have to bring in for me to pay this person this amount? That's how we basically set KPIs, right? We say that you must sell 70 packs of noodles for me to be able to pay you 100,000 naira. That is basic. We can't touch that. Then we now say when you sell 75 packs, you get 10%. When you sell 80 packs, you get this percentage. If after the first month you don't meet your target, we'll come back and we'll review. Is it that the target is too high, or the location I sent you to wasn't the best location? Let's realign. If we find out that it's simply because you are not putting as much effort as is necessary, we put the person on performance improvement plan, PIP. That means
Okay.
that we'll have a discussion with this person and say, see, you were not able to meet your plans, not because of there were extraneous circumstances, but you did not because of extraneous, but this was personal to you. Every other person within that unit met their plan, within the same location, within the same geographical area, met their plan and met their goal. So this was on you. Then we put you on a performance improvement plan and tell you that you're on this plan for 3 months. Should you not meet your targets in that 3 months time, we'll have to let you go. So part of sales and part of business is there are times that there are losses. Losses will also come from paying someone's salary when the person is not even meeting the person's target. Yes, those are the kind of losses we actually have to take. But one thing you have to understand is you put that person on a performance improvement plan immediately. Because if you let the person go immediately, if you take time out and say, no, let's give this person a chance, and in 2 months' time you let the person go, and the person was not on a plan and was agreed to, the person can take you to National Industrial Court, and the person would win. So you have to make sure it's documented. We had this discussion, it's documented with this person. We put this person on this plan and
it's signed.
Yes, and it must be fair. You have to realize it has to be fair. That's why it's a plan. That's why it's a temp, like it's 3 months. It has to be fair. That okay, we gave you 3 months to meet your targets, and there was no extraneous circumstances. Are there extraneous circumstances? We will work the plan. Oh, the location you are giving me, these people cannot afford this amount of our products. So it's either we move to another location or we review. Hello, Titi, can you still hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. It's either we rework our plan and bring down our targets for that location, or we leave the location completely. These people cannot afford our products. So another thing as a business that you have to know is that wherever your location is key. You cannot have a business in a place they cannot afford your products. You can't tell your salespeople to Ikorodu to go and sell 2,500 naira 50 ml ice cream. They will not buy it. No, I'm not, and this is not a diss to people that live in that area.
That's very
You have to know these things. It has to be very, very important. Okay. Do we have any other question?
No, I think that's all the questions that we have. Biola, I'm hoping that we're able to get your slides. Can we get the workbook?
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Okay, I'll have one for you. I'll have another one for you that is tailored towards salespeople.
Okay,
don't worry.
Okay, because
apologies once again
about the sales.
Yeah, apologies once again. My personal laptop went off, so I could not use it, and I could not give you my major slides. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Abiola Oreagba.
You're welcome.
Yes, Mom. So that was a fantastic session with Abiola Oreagba. She took us on how to write KPIs. Should you need materials, she used a particular workbook. Our details are on the screen. Yes, the email and the phone numbers. You can send us an email stating that you took part in the employer's workshop and you like to have the slides. And if you're also interested in the first speaker slides, Amaka slide, that is also available. Just use the information on your screen. I would like to quickly drop that we are at Edgar. We have trained tech talent for employers. They are already trained. They were trained by the best. They are covering several fields such as web development, cybersecurity, cloud computing, data analysis, and they come to you at no recruitment cost, courtesy our several partners. The link has been shared on the screen. Yes, you can fill the form, and of course, if you want to have further conversation, you can use our email and our phone number. So quickly, I would like to bring up one of our partners from United Cisco, Mr. Kolawole Osho. I'm sorry if I murdered your surname, sir. Hello, Mr. Kolawole. I can't hear you, sir.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So what's the correct pronunciation, sir? I'm sorry.
It is Osho.
All sure. All right. All
Yes,
right.
sure.
Yes. Okay. So you have the floor for the next 5 minutes.
All right, thank you. I want
You have
to
the
say
floor,
very
Mr.
big thank
Kola.
you.
Okay.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you. You have the floor now.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, okay, like I said, and I want to say very big thank you to the AJ for this huge platform, giving to us. And I said, my name is Kola Ole from United Cisco Networking Academy, and I actually want to say thank you to the two speakers, Amaka and Biola. They've in terms of sourcing for the right talent, and after even before that, for you to get your job description and keep performance indicators right, and now sourcing for the employees, the right talent. You know, those are actually the first stages. And so after you've done all those things, putting the JD, you have it in place. This is when this person resumes. This is what this person is going to do for me and every other thing the first 3 or 6 months. You have it there. Now, you'll now be thinking that, okay, where do I get these people? And this is where we actually come in. It is called Cisco Talent Bridge Machine Engine. This is it's actually a huge platform, a multinational platform that allows you to connect, with diverse skills in IT related roles, and you have like 16 languages, different countries. Nigeria is actually part of them. So all you do is you already know what you're looking for, and by the time you are registered on this platform, you have 100% access sourcing for best clients or best employees that actually matches your goals and objectives, and it is absolutely free. So if that is in registration, there might be an administrative charges at the end of it, but for registration, it is actually absolutely free, and you're going to have access to sourcing for your right candidates that matches your requirements. You know, what this does for you is actually saves your time. You don't have to be, cracking your head doing different set of interviews in getting the right candidates. You already have it in place that this is what I'm looking for, and immediately you input the information. The right candidates actually comes to place. So how do you actually benefit from this? This is actually gives, like I said, it saves time. Your your from your HR team to your hiring manager, it depends on the scale of of the organization. So to that level, it actually saves all the stress for you doing all the first level interview. You want to screen, you want to text it, you want to text that. This machine engine does it for you automatically. All you just needed to do is when you input the right skills and the specification you're looking for, the CV is actually pops up for you and you download, then you complete the process. Then for some of the organizations that they do expatriates, this is actually an avenue for you because you don't have to stress, yourself in getting the right candidates. We have on this platform alone, we have 30,000 successful candidates already on this platform alone. So because of checking the background, if you are interested, you need to, when you have your name, for your name to be registered, you need to do some verifications and every other thing. So we can, if you are interested, you can easily relate to AJ so that we have your information so that all those things can be done. Then you can be part of this platform. Thank you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kolaole, for that brief. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, so it's quite an interesting thing that you're doing at United, and it's beautiful that we are in the same space in the sense that we give interns to employers to thanks to. It's just a beautiful thing that the world is moving to a place where people can be trained and they can be fixed into
Yeah.
jobs seamlessly. Thank you very much, Mr. Kolawole.
Thank
It's
you
nice
so
to
much,
have you.
man.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, man.
sir. Thank you, sir. So I would like to, before we leave, you're rounding up. Okay, Mr. Kolawole is on screen. Okay. So I'd like to introduce one of our partners, the Nigerian German Center. And Mr. Ayomikun Olubode will be speaking to us about what they do at the NGC. Such a lovely and amazing concept they have there. Welcome, Mr. Ayomikun.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Titi.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for inviting us. The Nigerian German Center is implemented by GIZ in partnership with the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. We create prospects for employment, and we create prospects and new employment, and these are for local population and returning migrants. So we provide legal ways for people to migrate to Germany, and we also provide social and economic reintegration for returning migrants. We have 3 centers in Nigeria, one in Lagos, one in Abuja, and one in Benin. So these 3 centers, how do people access these 3 centers? You expect to go to the centers, meet an advisor, get counseled, and after you're being counseled, you get referred to any of our offers. So clients, the local population and the returning migrants are expected to visit the center, meet an advisor, get counseled by the advisor, and then get referred to any of our offers. So what are these offers? The offers it can be on vocational skills training, ICT training, internship placement, or job placement. So those are basically the offers of the Nigerian German Center. Thank you.
So quick one, Mr. Ayabiku, before you leave, how can employers of labor benefit from the Nigerian German Center? What are the benefits that we can have as employers?
Okay, great. So just like I mentioned earlier, that one of our offers is the internship placement and job placement. So our internship placement is a paid one. So as an employer, you are expected to write to the Nigerian German Center requesting for interns for internship space in your organization. However, the reason for internship placement is not just for them to be placed on internship; it's for them to be retained after the internship placement, after the internship period, right? So it's not just for us to just because we want to pay them, no, because we want them to gain employment after the period of internship.
Okay, so Mr.
Employers can write yes.
Okay, so can we interview them? So let's say that the center sends us like 4 people to intern in the organization. Can we say, okay, these 3 people are below par in terms of skills and all of that? Can there be a selection process on the side of the employer?
So for instance, you write to us that you need 10 interns. We can send you 15 names. We can send you 20 names. Just for you to be able to yes. So you won't be restricted to the numbers we requested for, and we just give you that particular number. So you can so you can interview them, then let us know those who have been selected.
Oh, okay. That's beautiful. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayomiko. Thank you for coming up today, and a big thank you to the Nigerian German Center. You're doing something beautiful. Again, I would like to drop that we at Edgar, we're a venture studio. You have an idea, you don't know how to build. You have an idea, you're building, but you're sort of confused along the way. We'll provide growth as a service would help you through the process. It has been an amazing time here on the Employers Workshop this morning. But before we go, I would like to hand over the virtual lectern to Mr. Damlola Obidaro, one of the co-founders of 8Care Partners. Mr. Damlola. Mr. Damilola Obidairo. Okay. All right. So let's wait for 5 seconds and see. Okay. Thank you very much for such a wonderful conversation today. We're sorry Mr. Damlola cannot join us this morning. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you attending. Should you have any questions, please send us an email or do call the number on your screen. Should you be in need of tech interns, yes, please do, do fill the form. The link has been shared, or you can also call the numbers and the email. We have more than tech interns. You want interns in business support, in sales, in digital marketing, in administration. We are the go-to place. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye.